What's up, man? What's going on with you? How you doing? How you feeling? Today is February 24th. Um, Tuesday. All of a sudden it went from being like 70 degrees to ice cold these past couple of days. And crazy enough, weather control is a real thing. But it's always been like this in Georgia. It's always been weird ass weather. So right now it's ice cold outside, but it looks pretty. Um, So that explains the whole attire. Because even though the heat is on like 76, I think there's still a draft coming from these windows. So it stays cold in this guy. But other than that, how you doing? How you feeling today, man? Pretty sure it's been a rough couple of days. Weekend was probably wild for you. Hopefully so. Hopefully in a good way, though, right? Like not wild in a crazy way, but in a good way. Still coughing all this damn smoke up from the restaurant. And it's really making me debate whether or not I kind of want to go back. Like doing all of this coughing and whatnot simply from working 1 week, man. Not ready for it. Yes, sir. I got something. I got something, man. I got something. To be honest, do y'all remember the Osbournes? Y'all remember that show? You remember the show for Ozzy Osbourne and his family? Ozzy, Sharon, Jack, and Kelly, I believe her name was. They had just moved into a new house in California, and basically the show was just following them because Ozzy had released a new single, a new album on his own. I forgot the name of the album that he released. But basically, the show was for all of that. It was for his tours and everything he had going on because of that solo release. And that's how the show got started. And I was watching that show last night. You know, that, if you ever can go back and watch an episode of that show was true reality TV. Oh, wow. Damn. Yeah, you got to clean that up. That show was true reality TV, bro. Like, Ozzy Osbourne was uncensorable. You could not censor that man. And then his entire family spoke just like him. There were more expletives in that show than any show I've ever seen. Almost every other word was a curse word, but they were real, raw, and genuine. Go back and watch that show. Keep in mind that came out in like early 2000s. That was reality TV. That was reality TV. It was real. There was no, you're just following their life. You're just seeing you never know what's going to happen. None of it was scripted. That was real. And then I just so happened to stumble onto another show that I've seen. I've seen it 1,000 times and I love the show, but this one is called All Star Love Island Games. And it just seems so scripted. It seems so fake. None of it seems genuine. And that is what we are missing. That is what we are missing. We are missing just genuine people being themselves and not trying so goddamn hard to impress others. That's what we're missing. Bro, 90 Day Fiance. Oh my God. Love After Lockup. That's another show. Love After Lockup. Even that is scripted. Even that is scripted. I am a cameraman. I am a producer in that sense. So I look at shows from that sense of camera angles, what's best, all of these things. And it just seems like everything is scripted, everything is pre planned. And then they execute the show and we're all like, "Oh my god, this show is so good. It's so amazing." But it's bullshit. It's all fake. None of it is real. But as I was um as I was channel surfing these past couple days, well, I thank you for that, bro. I genuinely thank you for that because I have honestly thought, right? I thought about it. I was like, maybe this is, before I really started doing the lives and getting more into the channel. I was like, who should I follow after, right? All these content creators, all these people out here, who should I mimic my style after in order to captivate an audience and get people to tune in and watch and all? And I was like, I can't do what they do because I'm not going to be able to lie like that long enough. I can probably do it for a couple of weeks, a couple of episodes, couple shows, something like that. But after a while, I'm going to get tired of doing that. And I'm not going to be able to keep up the facade. I'm not going to be able to keep lying to y'all and lying to myself. I'm not going to be able to keep doing it. But there's people that can do it. They can do it and they do it real well. So, I mean, shout out to them, bro. Love on the Spectrum is not scripted in the sense of giving them lines, but they set up situations and they allow them to be themselves, right? Because you can't really script it, but you give them talking points or you tell them things that you want them to talk about. So when they're sitting in front of the camera talking, they always usually cut the scene where the person behind the camera is talking to them. They have to steer the conversation in a certain way in order to get them to touch on topics. You see what I'm saying? So they always cut those parts out and they just they're really good at it now. Like they're really good at what they do. They really are. But what was I watching? I've been on a binge lately of tuning into old shows and documentaries. And it's either documentaries about like these what was the like it was called the biggest con artist on Instagram, this chick who was lying about having cancer. She was from Australia. She was lying about having a malignant brain tumor and then she had just cancer riddled all over her body and all of a sudden she was healing herself with like avocados and freaking berries. Like it was crazy. Come find out she was lying her ass off. She was almost on one of the first apps on Apple Watch. When Apple Watch was launching, they contacted her because they wanted her and her book and her recipes for curing cancer to be a part of Apple Watch's launch. That's a big damn deal. She was lying the whole damn time. The whole damn time she was lying. Like, oh man, it's just what was I watching? Get on point, damn it. Jerry Springer, uncensored. I grew up watching Jerry Springer. I love watching Jerry Springer. And I was watching the show, watching the documentary. I think it's on Netflix that they have. And the producer, because if you don't remember, Jerry Springer, when he first started, was trash. Let's just call it what it is. The show was boring as hell. It was like, what was his name? Ronaldo? Or yeah, I think it was like Ronaldo or something. Like it was a bunch of boring ass shows back then, right? And it was talk shows like Oprah. It was just talk shows, boring ass shows. And Jerry Springer was one of those shows. But he came from being a news anchor. He came from being an Emmy award winning news anchor. He was into politics. He was a pretty stand up, top of the line citizen. The show he had was boring as hell. They brought in an executive who essentially he was the mastermind behind like tabloid headlines, making up the craziest headlines. He said, we got to turn it all around. It doesn't matter what people think they want to see. We're going to tell them what they want to see. We're going to give them the craziest crap to distract them from what they do every day. And that's what he said. He was like, they go to work, they listen to their boss, they deal with their kids and their wife, and all they want is to be distracted from real life for a moment. And I was like, damn, Geraldo, that was it. Rivera, that was it. Geraldo Rivera. I was thinking of the mustache and everything. Geraldo Rivera, that's the name. But the executive was saying all people want is to be distracted from their real life for a moment. I was like, damn, like that's true as hell. True as hell. And I I feel like I feel like that's hmm it's all scripted, bro. It's all scripted. I stopped watching television when I was like 19. I stopped watching television when I was like 19. Like literally like gave up on television. I'm a movie buff. I'll rewatch movies, I read books, but television and what we thought was entertaining and what we thought was like fun to watch, it started changing and I was like this isn't cool anymore. I used to watch SpongeBob when I was a kid. SpongeBob changed around the second, third season, definitely in the third season. And I was like, I don't like this anymore. It's not something about it I don't like. I stopped watching it. I've stopped watching a bunch of shit. Um, Mainly because it starts to change in a direction that pushes nothingness, if that makes sense to you, right? It pushes absolutely nothing. And there's nothing wrong with having comic relief. There's nothing wrong with having things to lighten your mood and lighten your day. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I think that's all we have now. Bro, listen, I think that's all we have. We flip through the phone. We constantly go through these cycles of keeping ourselves distracted. But what are we distracting ourselves from? Oh wow, that's crazy. What are we distracting ourselves from? Like that's I guess that's my question. Since I've cleaned up my algorithm on Instagram and Facebook, it's not, it's not any ass shaking and it's not as much of that anymore because I started blocking that every time it comes up. Or on Facebook I would say they give you a list of things that you can say, but I would just say this doesn't appeal to my interests. Like this just doesn't interest me. So now I'm getting different things popping up. um I would like to say more and more people are waking up in a sense to the distractions that are happening regularly, like everyday distractions. And it's not one of those conspiracy theorist type conversations, I guess, but to know that it is as bad as you think it is and it's not as great as you believe it is, that is the reality of today's common adult. Or I'll say common person in their 30s plus. 30s plus is what I've been realizing. People are either acknowledging the fact that it's all a game and they're trying to fight against it, or they're trying to find their place in it without causing a disruption, if that makes sense. Um, Economy is shifting like a mug. If you don't have assets, if you don't have anything to yourself, really, these next few years is about to be outrageous, bro. Like, you think you're working hard now and not getting anything, these next few years are really going to show you that. So, all I can say is cut back on what you're buying. If you don't need it, don't buy it. I'm not an expert in this area, but I did sign up to get back into school for finances because the way money works, it can work that way for everyone. You just have to find out what way works for you. But the little things like cutting back on expenses, literally anything you don't need, and you have to go down your priorities. What is it that I need? What's going on, man? What is it that I need? What is it that is going to help me, my family? What is it that we need? You need a roof over your head. That roof over your head comes with bills, so those have to be paid. That's wrapped up in the roof. You need a roof over your head. You need clothes because you can't go outside with your cheeks out until summertime. But you need clothes, but clothes to do your job and clothes to be outside in. That's it. You don't have to live high fashion if you don't want to. This sweater, $7. $7. Cozy, warm, it does the job. I found this hat. I found this hat. So, you know, get what you want, do what you want, but start getting things that you need and stop putting money into things that you do not need. You might have to change your diet for a little while. See if you can change your diet for 1 month. Not saying 6 months, 1 month. See if you can change your diet. If you do not have dietary restrictions, see if you can change your intake 1 month. How much are you eating? How much are you consuming? Is it benefiting you? Are you eating just to eat? Are you gluttonous? Whatever these things are, I'm advising anyone who listens to really start looking at what it is you're doing because the economy is shifting. Your life might not seem like it's affected right now, but the economy is shifting. And once that does what it needs to, your life will be affected, regardless of what you think. You have to put yourselves in those situations, man. I think everyone is doing good so far, man. It's been a pretty good day. Um, I was just talking about a couple of things I've been watching, things I've been noticing, and what's really got me speaking to you guys like this is literally 5 minutes ago, I was watching the Nazi regime documentary on Netflix. And I've watched that thing a billion times. Not this one in particular, but anything to do with that era, that 1939 to 1947 era, really the 1900 to 1950. I I literally watched that stuff over and over and over again because that was the beginning of the economy that we have today. That whole thing, there's so much that went on in that 50-year gap. That whole thing is the beginning of our economy today. And history repeats itself. It's nothing new is formed. History repeats itself. So watching what's going on, pinpointing certain things, and just pointing out the patterns, bro. Just pointing out the patterns. Just really the thing. Like I don't want to cause see so many content creators like on my personal page on Facebook and things like that who they start to get this information, they start to realize certain things, and they're in such a panic and such a frenzy, and they're like, "Oh my god, I gotta tell everybody," and they sound crazy, right? There's certain ways to pass along information without causing mass hysteria or causing people to be scared. Honestly, the reality of the situation is you're going to wake up tomorrow and your life is going to be the same unless you change it. That's the reality of the situation. That's everybody across the board. If you are not in that upper literal 1.09% of people who have billions to their access, your life is going to be the same tomorrow unless you change it. That's the type of conversation I'm having. Um, and it started out because I was watching the Osbournes and how real that show was on television and just remembering what television used to be like for us. And the entertainment was the real life. Oh, this is really happening. And not everyone has access and not everyone sees this. So no one knows this. So now here we go. We're going to show people. Now we see everything. I literally, bro, I've seen so much shit that I'm not supposed to see. I've seen so much shit that I'm not supposed to see. I was scrolling through X the other day. I was scrolling through X and there was a video of a man and his 5-year-old child and his wife being shot at by their own family members because of some disagreement or something like that. Bro, I am not meant to see that kind of stuff. I remember I used to work with a dude. I'll never forget this. I used to work with this dude who would watch those type of videos. He would watch assassination videos and like murder videos at work. And he like I don't think it has I'm not gonna say it has anything to do with where he's from, right? He's from another country, not gonna say where. He's from another country and he would watch it in the WhatsApp thing, in the WhatsApp account. And it was like he was like, these are videos that his friends send him from that country where he's from. And like they watch it like it's entertaining, bro. Like, yeah, bro. I have been on a one of those I gotta do better waves. And because I believe in the God I believe in, I don't feel like I would be doing anyone justice if I just kept all of that information to myself. So the best thing I say is do better. The best thing I can say is try different things or try to, improve upon what it is you're already doing. Because I'm not perfect and I don't know the perfect plan. I just know we need to change the way we're going about things. Because if we don't, it's going to stay the same. I don't know what 4chan is. Um, if we don't change the way, and I say we because I'm a normal dude. I'm a regular ass dude, and I've had to change the way I go about things. I had to change the way I handle things, and it just seems like if you're not already in that stratosphere, if you're not in that financial bracket, I'm gonna drop some data real quick that might blow your mind. If you're not making, if you are not making $128,000 a year, you are struggling. Period. Really, bro? Oh, it's like a Reddit. I don't know. I've never heard of 4chan. What is 4chan? Um, if you're not making $128,000 a year, no matter what your job is, but if that's not the type of revenue you're bringing in yearly, you are struggling. Whether you know it or not, you're struggling. Right now, the average home costs about 390 something thousand dollars on average. On average. That's the type of money you need to get the house. On average, people are not making nowhere near that right now, yearly. Nowhere near that. The housing market is a great indicator on the situation of our economy. And it shows us that if you can't get a house, which is a major asset, if you cannot get a house, there's a lot of things you cannot get and you won't get simply because you can't afford a house. It's always been like that. So Travis, do me a favor. Don't use the word like crazy, right? Because when people, and I'm only saying this because that's what happens when you're trying to have conversations about things and you use keywords to invoke certain thoughts and feelings, which will deter anyone from listening. So I can say making $100,000 is crazy. That's outrageous. That's crazy. You want to make $100,000, bro? That is crazy. You see how like it seems defeating. But if I change crazy to amazing, making $100,000 is amazing. You want to make $100,000? That's amazing. It's kind of boosts your morale a little bit, makes you feel like you can actually do it. That's the magic of the English language, plain and simple. That's the magic of the English language. Keywords uh, invoke certain thoughts and feelings. I'm not gonna say it's common knowledge, but that's why it's called spelling. I don't know, maybe. Keywords just invoke certain feelings. So if the videos sound a little extravagant, that's another word you can use. Um, it's another good word. That's it's weird how when something doesn't go along with a certain narrative, it's deemed crazy because crazy is a word that allows people to just say, I'm not going to pay attention to that. Oh man, that reminds me of something that I saw and I'm going to play it today. I got to find the picture so I can remember. I literally take pictures of things just so I can remember. Okay, it's a comedian named Doug Stanhope. Doug Stanhope. And what I'm talking about right now is a stand up he did, and he was talking about mentally ill versus mentally challenged. Um, and it kind of like it put a lot of things in perspective, but mentally ill versus mentally challenged.
We're going to talk about
Keep in mind, this is stand
mental illness, and I know there's a lot of different types, but for the sake of this bit, I'm going to break them down into two camps. Camp one, mentally disturbed people. These are people with a mental illness that is disturbing to them. You know, and there's a lot of different kinds. There's the everything's a germ, man. I wear plastic gloves like a Subway sandwich artist because I know everything's gonna infect me. And I wear a SARS mask on my bicycle when I go to work. And or I gotta flip the light switch 3 times before I go to work. 1, 2, 3, and then I wipe my feet on the mat. 1, 2, 3, and then if I think I forgot to do the light switch, I'll go home from work on my lunch break. 1, 2, 3. And these boil all the way down to the government has a chip in my head and they're tracking my thoughts and they're making me do stuff. Camp 1, mentally disturbed. Camp 2,
mentally disturbed is what he
mentally challenged people.
Mentally challenged.
Also have a mental disability, they just don't seem disturbed by it on any level. They seem to quite enjoy having that disability. They both have a mental impairment, but only one of the two camps gets any kind of sympathy. Mentally challenged people get all the hugs and kickball in the world. Everyone loves them. Mentally disturbed get kicked the fuck out of the house as soon as they're old enough. There's something wrong with that boy. He's got the devil in him. Get out of my house. He doesn't have the devil in him. He's got a fucking mental illness. Take care of him. But you don't with camp ones because mentally disturbed people are frightening and irritating. They seem dangerous a lot of the time. They have bees living in their beard and they walk through the crosswalk talking to themselves. And you know if you make eye contact, all of those problems in his head are going to be your problem. And occasionally, it's very rare, but it's always well publicized. Randomly, sometimes mentally disturbed people will go kill a whole bunch of folks for no logical reason that you can see.
You can't
so
see
you
it.
Don't want to give them the same sympathy and safe quarter that you do mentally challenged people.
That's what I'm talking about.
No one ever says that. Retards never kill people.
Never hear that, right?
Nobody ever says, did you hear about Kevin? He went all downsy and shot up a movie theater. It's the weirdest thing. He went full-blown special needs and drowned his own children in a bathtub.
Full blown
Nobody
special
saw it coming.
needs. That right there.
You check out the
That right there is what I'm talking about. So to what you were just saying, boss, what you were just saying. What? This thing, yo, hold on, wait. First of all, listen, I'm sorry. I just got my schedule from work and I don't like the way it looks. Um, so to what he was saying and to what I was saying, words mean a lot. Words mean a ton. Um, so just be mindful when you're calling something crazy just because it doesn't sound normal for you. That's all I was saying. What's going on? Um, yeah, bro. He just gave me this dang schedule. And is you saying you want me to work tonight at 6? This thing says 6 p.m. to 3 a.m. Right. Mm-mm. Oh, I'm not happy with that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not happy with that. I do not want to work tonight, but I will. I'm sorry, that just threw me off. But yeah, bro, it's not easy. It's not easy, man. I think I think being able to think differently from others does not make you a bad person. I am weary of groups of people who all have a hive mindset, all think the same. Because that means y'all are easily manipulated by the right person. Um, someone with a strong sense of manipulation can take over a group of people because you all think the same. And if you pinpoint the leader of the group and you can get that person, then you can get everybody. That's how it works. Or at least that's how I think it works. I don't know anything for real. Um, but that's how I think it works. And it seems to go that way. Seems to go that way a lot. Why do you think celebrities or the people that we look up to, the regular people, don't look up to doctors anymore? We don't look up to scientists anymore. We don't look up to archaeologists. That said that all wrong. But we don't look up to major professions as people that we hold important. We value celebrities. We value status and we value, flashy or things that look like they're expensive or we value that. We do. We really do. And you never notice that your celebrities all say the same thing. The people you cheer for, they all kind of have the same narrative. I don't know. It'd be crazy, right? It's one of those things. Like if you don't think for yourself, someone else will think for you. If you're not in control of your emotions, someone else will be in control of your emotions for you. That's real. Good thing I pray as much as I do. I am putting my faith right back to where it always has been and where it started at. And it allows me to keep going, keep pushing, keep doing. And I don't feel like I need too many public opinions on what it is that I'm doing. I'm, I'm just being me. And people seem to watch, you seem to listen. But honestly, if you met me at work or you met me outside in the street, this would be the same person you get. We would laugh, joke, have fun. But then if you want to have a serious conversation about something, intellectual, we could do that too. But I've started to save those type of conversations because people don't want to hear that. They just want to be entertained. People just want to be entertained, bro. Oh, life sucks. Life is so horrible. Yeah, life is not easy, but it's all about how you do it. Do you care about what it is you're doing? You care about your job, you care about your family. If you care about the things you're doing, then it doesn't suck so bad when you're doing them, or it shouldn't suck so bad. Oh, well, that sounds nice. That's dope. Um, I think I think from man to man or man to woman, whoever's tuned in, I think reevaluating yourself every day is not a problem. There's nothing wrong with that. Having a quick check-in like, "Hey bro, am I doing everything I need to do? Am I'm moving accordingly, not in a nervous fashion, not in a way that's going to make you stupid anxious or cause you to want to like self-medicate because you're overthinking so much. Nah, but in a way where you start doing things that are conducive to your betterment. Damn, dude, I haven't had any fruit in a week. I haven't had any fruit. I'm going to eat some fruit today. That's conducive to your benefit. Oh man, I've been sitting here binge watching shows for the past 7 hours. I'm gonna get up and clean up. That's conducive. Just simple things like that. It's small victories. You got to start with the small ones. They'll roll over in the big ones and snowballs happen. But you got to start somewhere. Um, and when I started this, I wanted to be nothing but pure entertainment because entertainment is what captures views. But then I've realized I'm turning into evergreen content, which means it's content that people will could watch years from now. So finance talk, mental health talk, technology talk, all of those things will be popping up for me, or at least popping up in the channel. Those type of things are interesting and they last. You know, we can have conversations about the best camera to get under $1,000. We can talk about that. The best equipment to buy within a budget. We can have these type of conversations. Because I don't want to keep bothering you, or at least the smart viewers. I don't want to keep bothering y'all with the things that I feel are dumbing us down. I don't care about other content creators' lives. I do not care about celebrity lives. I do not care about what's going on in a made up war, right? Not that I don't care about people being hurt and things like that, but when you're the made up war I'm talking about is the black and white, the hating other people because they don't look like me. That's what I'm talking about. That shit is made up. I have too many friends all around to not feel like that's bullshit. You want to be mad about something, so you find something to be mad at. And it just so happens that this other person doesn't look like you, sound like you, live where you live. So now you validate your stupid ass anger with, oh, they're like this, so I'm upset. I don't know, bro. That shit's stupid to me. Well, I mean, everyone has their rights, and it's more, and I mean, I wish people would stop rolling over and insist on defending their rights. Well, some people just want to survive, bro. Some people just want to survive. Some people don't even know what it's like to fight. They just want to survive and get through it. So, in a sense, for them staying away from things or them not talking about things or not getting political or radicalized is them defending themselves. They feel like they're staying out of the way, which in a sense they are, but you know, yeah, I get it. I get it. back to the evergreen content. So we're still doing music videos because music is forever, especially when the music is good. Conway Twitty is one of those artists who are forever. Um, I think music is going to stay around, but we're going to start switching into talking about evergreen stuff. If you don't know what that means, Google evergreen content, things like that. But things that actually matter, things that we can look back on and be like, oh, yeah, I remember that, or you can use for something. I'd rather be useful. I'd rather be useful than just entertaining. And that's the whole shift. I'd rather be a useful person for you to tune into than just entertainment. Now, if it's entertaining, by all means, let's fucking go. Like, if it's entertaining, I'm cool with that. But I'm not gonna be singing and dancing just for that. Like, nah. I've spent my whole life not doing that. I don't see how I'm gonna do that now, well into my damn 30s. I just can't do it. Um, I'll leave that up to the other guys, to the other people to do that. They're in it. Then they are. They are. I don't want you guys to think I'm sitting here bashing all the other guys. They are entertaining. That's their lane. That's what they do. It's worth watching. That's what they do. I like it. I like it for what it is. Like it for what it is, man. Um, so here we are. It is 12:43. I'm probably gonna cut this thing early because I gotta pick my son up today. Um, yeah. So keep in mind we are turning to evergreen content. So we'll start talking about important things that will last. So finances, definitely. If I didn't tell you, I applied to Georgia State. I haven't heard anything yet. I'm trying to get back into school for finances. That's what I want to go to school for. Um, Technology, music, said finances, technology, music. I don't know. We'll figure out something else. We'll figure out another form of video content to make. I do photography. Um, I do videography. I have I say a little production company because it's not huge yet. It's not a big thing yet, but it will be. But I want you guys to be surprised. Like, oh no, I remember him. Like, that's his? Yeah, that's mine. I want to be able to hire people to make certain things and be like, brought to you by, you know? So I thank you guys for constantly tuning in, staying with me, staying true with me. Um, and we'll just keep getting better because that's the goal. We can have fun. Every day we have fun. But remember to stay prayed up. Remember to love the people you got next to you. Take care of your family. Just keep doing better, man. That's all we could ask for is keep doing better.